Hello, everybody. Welcome to Team of the Year podcast here with Jake, our training expert. Jake, what do you think about this Team of the Year and what do you think about the prices of this Team of the Year? Maybe we take a look at that.
Yeah, of course. So today, guys, we're recording on Thursday, and right now it's like 8 p.m. UK. So the full Team of the Year has been in packs 2 hours. We saw a really steep decline right away, right? And this was kind of typical because if you see, Davies went down to like 1.5 flat on Xbox. He's up to 1.55. I expect him to actually climb a lot further. On PS, he also went down to like 1.6, and now he's up to 1.85. So there was kind of a crash that first hour or so. And that has to do with lightning rounds, of course. But you have to remember, too, that today was the day where people had decided no matter what, they were going to crack open their hundreds, if not some people's thousands of save packs. So today, I think, will be the most plentiful supply. I know there are some waiting for tomorrow to get that 12th man who should be Messi in. So they have even more likelihood to pack them. But I think I saw a poll that like 70% of people were cracking them open today. So having the full 11 in was enough for people to rip through those. So you saw prices decrease a bit. Like Lua went down to 2.8 on PS. Now he's rising back up to kind of where I would expect him to be. So he went down to 2.8, like almost exactly, all the way up to 3. He's really cheap on Xbox, actually, at 2.5. He should rebound shortly. He did go down as low as 2.43, but even this is a good price for him there. Yeah, so prices are about where I would expect them. Bruno, I always said would be around like 4 million because he's the best center mid in FIFA, probably, like outside of icons for sure. Kimmich, I think, is valued really fairly. I actually think that, of course, if he was Premier League, it would add like an extra mil to him, or even like 500K. Ronaldo was always going to be ridiculous price. Last year, he floated around 7.5 million on PS. This year, he's a whole million higher. I don't even know if he's going to go under 8 million. I think this is the attacker that all the pros want to use. They're simply not releasing very many of him, so he's going to hold a really, really high value. And then, yeah, Van Dijk, Ramos, and Trent are about exactly where we expected. I thought this Davies would be closer to 1.5, but he actually is the most popular card in this entire Team of the Year. I'm not sure if you've seen that, but he's the most hit on footbin. There's so many good Bundesliga center backs in terms of like Alaba, Klosterman. We got that Boateng, which is also lifting his price a little bit. He would be a little bit lower, in my opinion, if that Boateng didn't come out, but so many people did him that they want him for that link, so that makes sense to me. But overall, I think prices are about right where we'd expect.
Yeah, so let me tell you that at the beginning, I didn't really like the Team of the Year. I didn't like the ratings.
Sure.
But after a couple of days, and mostly about De Bruyne, because
Yeah.
he's my favorite player in real life. So the difference between him and, let's say, last year, it's quite high, and also difference with Bruno Fernandes. I understand Bruno is more hyped this year. He had a better season, probably 2021 season, so he kind of deserves it. So Bruno, it's okay at rating, but I would expect De Bruyne also to have, let's say, a little bit more juice in him.
Definitely. And as you're looking on the screen, guys, I'm comparing Bruno Player of the Month to De Bruyne, and they're really not far off. Yeah, there's some physical difference, which is literally the main difference, you would say. But I think people, like, really, if you wanted a De Bruyne class player, you could just do this Player of the Month for half the price or less, right? So I think this comparison really put people off, because now that Bruno has the 97 Team of the Year, and statistically he is far better, I would say, than KDB. So this KDB is a little too comparable to like a Player of the Month that's sitting out, in my opinion. But at the same time, it like you said, Florian, it's because Bruno just has so many special cards this year that they couldn't make him like a 94 or 5, because he might get that card as an inform or a headliner or something. So to make him stand out, they almost had to increase his quality. So he's a 97. He's the best center mid in the game outside icons now, so he should hold his value. Not only that, Portuguese links are super strong this year with Felix, Ronaldo, Cancelo, Renato. All those players pros love using too, so I don't expect him to dip under 4 on PS really. He's just such a strong card.
Yeah, and my surprise this week, let's say, was that I mean, it wasn't a surprise. It was a surprise that they have these prices, but taking into account the ratings, it's not anymore a surprise. I was thinking more boosted stats. I was thinking higher ratings, and those would have been based on my, let's say, prediction of prices. But for these stats, I think some of them are quite expensive. I know they are
Definitely.
unique.
Mm-hmm.
Until now, we don't have so many special cards high rated
Mm-hmm.
as previous years. But let's say, for example, Virgil van Dijk. Okay, he's a 96 rated center back, but he's quite expensive for 2.5. I mean, you know how pace runs a lot in this
Yep.
game this year. So I would go personally. I would even go with Davies as a center back
Yeah.
instead of Van Dijk.
Yeah, and guys, what Florian's talking about too is really relevant, and we've kind of talked about this throughout the year, but it's really come to light for Team of the Year. EA is definitely slowing down their progression system of cards, right? We've seen it throughout the year. We actually saw huge pace downgrades to start the year. One example that I like to give is that cards that, maybe haven't got slower in real life lost like 10 pace. I remember people being so upset about Nabry because he used to be 90 pace and now he's down to 82.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other big one was Sancho. There was quite a few, to be honest. But another big one was the Sancho, right? He used to be like 90 something pace down to 83. And a lot of people were speculating why they did that and why they seemingly lowered some stats of players who haven't necessarily gotten worse in real life. And now it's evident to me that they're just trying to slow the progression to keep Foot alive longer. We all know that Foot typically has closer to like a 9-month cycle, right? A lot of people stop playing in the summer before the new release. And their first promo was called Rule Breakers, and they even downgraded some of the stats for this promotion. Remember that? So they kind of balanced it out. Yeah, these are some still great cards and extremely usable, but they downgraded some stats for balance. And then lastly, kind of what was indicative of them doing that is they didn't do nominees. So they didn't do nominees, in my opinion, just because they didn't want 70 different cards to get a +1, because that really hurts the market. It hurts a lot of value. It hurts a lot of current and future informs that make cards less exciting. So that was a really strong indicator to me that they were doing it this way. And as you see, for the first time, I believe there are first time in a while, there are no 99 Team of the Years, right? Even if Messi comes, I don't think he'll be a 99.
No.
If Lua didn't get one, I don't think Messi will get one. So yeah, they're just leaving room for a progression. And this year, different than last year, I expect Team of the Season to actually have better stats than Team of the Year, which was the opposite case last year. And to me, it actually makes sense, right? Because if you're releasing 99 rated cards 4 months into the cycle, where else do you have to go? And each year for the last few FIFAs, we've had like 3 or 4 or 5 99 rated Messis. It gets kind of boring,
Jake, before we go to the SBCs or to the investments, I want to ask you two questions. First question is, if you would have to, let's say EA gives you a free Team of the Year, which one would you like? Only one.
Ooh, for me? Ooh, that's a tough one. I would probably take Bruno, to be honest.
I know you're a big fan of Bruno.
Massive fan. I mean, for value, you could look at that Ronaldo. He does fit my team. Actually, a lot of these guys fit my team. But Ronaldo, I would say a lot of people would want for that value. But in terms of card that I've played with that I've really enjoyed, Bruno for me. Because I think I've been using Bruno's 90 rated card. And I've said this for a long time now, if you guys have followed me on media or Twitch. This card's incredible, and it's the best center mid I've used. He can make passes unlike any other card that I've played with. He seems to be in the right position all the time. He can play box to box. He can play a CDM even with those stats. So, yeah, I would absolutely love him. I'd love to pack him. I'm going to craft some upgrades, hopefully like a lot of you. I tried this Leva. He was incredible. He carried me to like 25-3 on Weekend League.
I saw that.
Yeah, he was a monster. I mean, so many people are playing defensively now that they don't really guard you outside the box, but he can finesse them in so easily. So I love that card. And then this weekend, I think I'm going to try Davies and Kimmich, so I can let you guys know how those cards are too. So we're slowly working through trying them all out. But yeah, I take Bruno. What about you, Florian?
Man, it's a difficult one. So if I didn't know the stats, I would have chosen any day of the time. I would have chosen De Bruyne.
Yeah.
But because now I see the stats, honestly, I would be very happy with Alphonso Davies.
Yeah, and yeah,
I believe so. For my play style, I'm not very good in defending. I'm not doing so many skill moves, so I don't need a skiller. Even though he has 4 stars,
yep.
I would play Davis, I believe, everywhere. Like center back, I would play CDM. I would play him CM. Even Cam, probably I will play him. So I have so many spots where I can play Davis that he would be the perfect one for me.
Definitely, definitely. And I think a lot of people feel the same. And then, like I said, that Boateng is definitely lifting up that price still. And I even think that Boateng did the same with Neuer, right? Because Neuer came out and he dropped a lot over the last day or so. If you remember that first day he came out, um, he was probably like 750 to 850K on both consoles. And we didn't have much supply then, don't get me wrong, but that Boateng, I mean, he's one of the best links straight to him, so I think that held up his price quite well too. But one thing I think we should talk about too, Florian, is just the promotion as a whole. What have you thought about this Team of the Year, the SBCs we've gotten, the content we've gotten? What would you rate it out of 10, and what are your thoughts on it?
So obviously we've got two very good SBCs. We've got Dybala and Boateng. I didn't imagine EA would give us so fast a Boateng. I don't believe he's like really end game. He's like, for the price he's very good, but you can still find some defenders better than him. But other than that, I believe so. EA also gave us upgrade packs quite easy.
Yep.
I remember they kind of made us wait in the last years for the last days to give us these upgrade packs.
I think the very last day. I think they only gave us a full day of them.
Yeah. So what I am thinking now is that we had upgrade packs. We only have like only 2 new SBCs during this week. So only Dybala and Boateng, and of course Ribery, but no one will do him probably.
No.
And I would expect EA to give us some SBCs maybe later in the week, maybe Saturday, Sunday, when already the people opening packs put their fathers in other SBCs.
I agree with that.
So I would expect that move to happen.
Totally. And I think, Florian, I'm not sure if you agree with this, but EA is really calculated a lot of time with their SBCs. I was saying this with Boateng. Like, he released right with defenders, and guess what? He's a Bayern player, and guess what? That made Davies and Neuer a lot more expensive that first day, that's a win for EA, to be honest with you. If people are paying more that first day and want those cards more, it's a good thing, right? That's how they sell more points, get people interested. Along those lines, I think they purposely, which was surprising, but I think they purposely didn't release an SBC today for a player because they want people smashing open FIFA points, and I really don't think they wanted anything to detract from the value there. So, for example, a lot of people are speculating, and it's just pure speculation, that we might get a flashback Conte. And I'm just going to pull him up on my computer here so you see kind of what kind of card people are excited about. Yeah. He looks like this. Really beautiful card, right? People loved him. If you got to use him, he was crazy fast. Actually, this card here. But he was crazy fast. One of the best CDMs in the whole game. People could use him all year. I know you loved him, Florian, so you would totally understand.
I miss him.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
And maybe they do release him, but I don't think they were going to release him today because then people don't want Bruno and people don't want KDB and people don't want Kimmich as much. But like you said, I would expect more in the coming days because a ton of packs just got opened today, and they didn't add any SBCs for players or like an icon or anything repeatable. So fodder, to me, looks pretty darn investable today because it's really weird to have so much mass supply and then no SBCs to go along with it, right?
Yeah, so guys, if you're listening, I would expect, so the easy thing would be that tomorrow EA releases both, let's say, an SBC, but also maybe some icon SBCs because we were missing those in the last weeks. But what I would think they would do is they would keep something good for the end of the promotion, even until Monday evening, because I know the Team of the Year is in packs until Tuesday. I'm not sure the upgrade packs, how long they are in packs, but
oh yeah, we can check that 1 second.
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, 3 days remaining. Days. Yeah, they timed it all well.
Yeah, so I think we are kind of waiting for the upgrade packs to end. I don't know. It's just a thing that I'm thinking about. But definitely we should get some other SBCs
Hmm.
these days in the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, to me, it just seemed like too much supply coming on with nothing. And the current SBCs aren't enough to hold up fodder, right? Because we have the base or mid icon, which people are doing,
Mm-hmm.
sure, but nowhere near when it came out like a month ago, right? People just are losing interest.
Yeah.
That not as many icons are going to make your team then. It's not as exciting. We got Rebury, and this was probably one of the worst SBCs price-wise of the year, in my opinion. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I say that because he's a left wing, left mid, just like Neymar, 5-star, 5-star. But Neymar is a better card for sure, statistically. He's debatably easier to link, and he's like 100k cheaper, or he was at the time, and tradable. So I don't really know why anyone would use Ribery besides nostalgia, or at least pay that much for him. Then we got Dybala, who a lot of us determined was good value. He has a really, really, really high completion rate and
Mm-hmm.
upvote rate. And then Boateng was a little lesser than Dybala, but also very good. 200k, and they're about 200k a pop. Felt like very fair value for these cards. So, yeah, those.
I would expect. Sorry to interrupt you. I
Yeah,
would expect. So my idea is that EA would give us a million coin SBC, which is good value for money. I don't know which player, but they would need to drag a lot of fodder out of the market with a high priced SBC, not with a 200k one.
yeah, I agree with that. It just Ribery didn't have the effect they needed to, right? And then the base or
Yeah.
mid. So you've seen like 87 to 89 or even higher fodder ratings crash a lot recently, just because these are the SBCs that have the higher rated squads out, and not enough people are doing them, right? People aren't paying 8 to 900k for a Ribery.
Yeah, exactly. What about Jake? What about let's say making coins this week? What you've seen worked and what can work in the next days?
Yeah, so I think that the market's going to be really good for trading in the next like 24 to 48 hours. I think there's going to be a lot of FIFA points open. There's still a decent amount of people saving packs until tomorrow, and I can see that too off market price. And tomorrow starts Weekend League too, right? So there should be a big boost in
Mm-hmm.
people completing their teams. So if you guys are into trading or fluctuation trade and know how cards move throughout the day, I would start looking just for some lows on cards that are out of packs, because they should go higher even tomorrow morning and tomorrow night. So this
Mm-hmm.
Zaha is a card I love trading with because there's not that many Premier League strikers. So he's been up to like 207 to 210k today at kind of a peak. He's down at 200k, at least on a snipe. He might pop there a little bit more. But if you can get that card for 200k, I think that a lot of the special cards out of pack are going to go higher late tonight and then tomorrow than they are today. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, his peak was 210 today. I expect this card to be closer to 220 to 225 tomorrow. So if you're picking him up around 200k, that looks like a fantastic price to me. What you want to look for is just cards that are out of packs that would have desire, right? Think of you. Would you want to use them? Are they meta? Road to the Final cards are also good. Headliners are good. Headliners have done really good this year too. One thing I'll say about them is a lot of people are buying into them at their third game. So if you notice they're on 2 victories, it can be a nice time to invest in them.
Yeah.
I wanted to give you one more example. This one's not necessarily as low as Zaha, but you see Tierney today is peaking at like 69k, right? If he drops down closer to 66, 65, I bet this card could literally be 75k tomorrow, right? There's not that many Premier League left backs outside of Rule Breaker Van Aanholt. Yeah, there's just really not that many, right? People don't rock them that much. So I think this Tierney can do good going into tomorrow. So try to get them kind of, you don't even have to go at their lowest point, because I don't think they're going to drop back as low as this morning, right? At 62 to 64. Look for
Yeah.
that intermediate point, like at 66k. That looks good to me. I bet a card like this can go to 75k tomorrow. So it's not huge profits, but knowing that we're in an uptrending market is how you trade, and you start to think to yourself, what was their high today? Should they be higher tomorrow? And to be honest, the answer on out of pack cards is yes. People have a lot of packs open, more lightning rounds. I expect a bigger rise tomorrow. Langley is another one. Looks like he's actually down today on PS. People probably invested him for De Jong, so he's not up very well. But if you can get him like at 130k, maybe he goes up to 145 tomorrow. So some examples like that. I highly recommend trading like that. I think trading with SBC fodders is good. I think picking them up right now is a nice time. They're really, really cheap right now, to be honest, because like we talk about, people are opening tons of save packs. And EA didn't put out any new SBC. So these 83 center backs are the lowest they've been in about a month. Some 85s are the lowest they've been in about a month. So you can look to invest there too. We don't know exactly when the SBC that's going to lift them is going to come, but I can tell you that their prices look pretty darn good.
So what you can do here, guys, for the fodder, you can, you can go with the easy way. Let's say you just want to play the game starting next week, and now you have some coins. Just go buy some very good links, good nations, center backs, or even left backs, or defenders tend to do quite well. And stock them in their club, and you'll see that in a couple of weeks, if not even faster, some of them would even go extinct based on SBC releases.
Exactly, like these 85 center mids too. If you can get them around 10, like Koke, Rodri, Alberto, around 10k, which you can, because there's tons of supply coming on the market from save packs. So these prices are their buy now recorded by Footbin. Keep in mind, I would get any fodder that I could through bid, because you're not going to have to pay full price a lot of the time. You could get them for probably closer to 10, so a 10% discount is what you would look for. But yeah, I think you're good on those. And then from there, it's kind of just seeing what EA released in the coming days, for sure.
I've seen some very big changes and increases in price with Dybala, with the Dybala SBC. I believe the Argentinian right wingers and players that linked Dybala went very up in price. In the next minutes, the Dybala SBC came out, so you can check also those. But for those you need to move quite fast.
Totally. And Florian, I think that you brought up a great point I do want to talk about. So Dybala had something really crazy happen to him, and I don't think I can go back as far as his release day. It was probably that Sunday then, based off the graph, Sunday or Monday. But it's really evident when it was here because he jumped like 50, 55, 60k to Lautaro. So Dybala had a really interesting effect, guys. Usually link investments rise and then they crash down because people kind of over anticipate how high they go. When people see a Dybala SBC, everyone thinks to themselves, oh, Lautaro is one of the best links. I'm going to go buy. They lift his price. Maybe not enough people do Dybala, so they end up selling or bringing his price back down, right? But what happened with Dybala is because his completion was so incredibly high, and I'm talking like 50% of all foot users that I know did that SBC, that these links didn't stop rising. So this Lautaro went up 70k, and you can even look at cards that weren't even direct links to him, like him. That was a strong link or whatever. But Gosens went up from 100k to literally 160k. Isn't that nuts? As a center back. So if you have an SBC like Dybala, especially in an off league, kind of what I think of is Serie A and League One. Those two are the big ones. Like, they don't have a ton of meta players, right? That's going to lift their entire market up. Whereas like Premier League is not going to have that specific effect because there's so many good Premier League players to choose from and link with. But with Serie A, there's really not like an infinite amount of meta cards, so that's why you saw such a crazy rise on them.
And another, I forgot to ask another question, Jake. I'm sorry, I'm jumping here from topic to topic. And this is a question that everybody is asking you probably already. Everybody will ask you, and everybody will ask me, when is the best time to buy Team of the Years?
So I think they're actually going to be higher this weekend. I think today that first hour was go time because now people have a lot more liquidity, right? A lot of people just cracked open save packs. So, they're able to buy. And that buying power was kind of a one-off. Like, yes, there will be FIFA points, but that's a lot more divided across the community. Today was the day where single people opened 100 to 1,000 packs. And I know that for a fact. It's not even exaggeration. So I think today they were really low. I think they're going to stay a little bit higher this weekend, and then you might even see a small decline from them into the week here. But I think they're going to stay high for weekend league, of course. So you'll see some fluctuations each day. They're probably going to dip around like 6 p.m. exactly, but I don't think they're going to hit the low of today again, to be honest.
Is Davis already up to 1.9 mil?
Yep,
That on
he went
PS?
literally from 1.6 to 1.9 on PS.
Because we were like just discussing about him, and you were showing the graph, and he was like cheaper.
Yeah, and on Xbox we were looking at 1.5. I'm like, this card's going higher. It's just noting patterns like that, and people are getting more and more coins in their account by the hour. Not only are they ripping through their save packs, but lightning rounds keep happening too, and it takes some time, right? If you have 100 save packs, you will literally be sitting there opening, recycling, doing things for a good hour or two, right?
Couple of good hours, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why you're seeing these prices continue to rise. People are still getting that liquidity, and they're saying, you know what, I'm just going to go in. I want them now. I've waited long enough, and buying.
Yeah, true. And also one idea I wanted to mention, we went a little bit through it quite fast, about the headliners, and that's a very good advice with if you see some player having 2 wins and almost getting the third one, you can even watch the game to see how the game is going and if their team scores. So this week, before the defenders came in packs, I bought one headliner Goretzka.
Yep.
And he was like 700k, and I was like, man, but this is expensive, what should I do? But tomorrow Bayern is coming in packs. I bought that one, and okay, I got a little bit lucky also with the Boateng SBC. Now I believe he's close to 800k, and I believe he will even go higher a little bit, not too much, because Bayern is playing on Sunday with some very, let's say, not the best team, and people are expecting him to make the fourth win. So live cards, our audience probably knows, are my favorites. In 2 weeks starts Champions League, so guys, to take a closer look at these live
Definitely.
cards, because
Yeah.
they are some money goers.
Yep, the live cards are flying, like Florian said with this Goretzka, and of course Boateng pushed him up a lot too. You can probably see where at least is about here for Boateng, up a good amount, but he's also just going up because he's approaching the upgrade, and he's a Hullet gang card, so a lot of people like him. The only one that I don't keep a super good eye on these. It's really hard to track everything, to be honest, in foot. But Mkhitaryan, Roma, they play a little bit lower. I think they play Verona or something this weekend, and they're likely to win, and he'll be on 2 wins, and this is a really nice card in the Serie A too, so if they get that second win, I would expect them to slowly start increasing towards his third and fourth game. So just one card to keep an eye on, and this is just an example, but you can do it with all headliners. It's just really hard to track every single thing in foot for sure.
Yeah, and you guys seen what happened to Ben Yedder, who he had some chance for team of he got also in team of the week. So so he went from 1 mil to 1.5 mil. So
Exactly.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, like, for the end of the episode, let's say, if you're planning, you said you're planning some upgrades, maybe you can tell us when you're gonna stream it and some details about that.
Yeah, definitely. So I plan to be on stream a few times over the weekend. Some people have save packs they want me to crack open for them too. So I'm actually probably going to head on for the first time after this, and then I have some people who are really kind that will help me build packs. So I hope to be on the next few days with upgrades myself. I don't mind putting like 500k in them. So whatever we can get done, I'm going to do over the next few days here over the weekend. And I think it's just really fun content to do on stream, just to come hang out, chat with people about the market. Yeah, it's been really fun streaming. It's been going really well. So expect me to be on most days. I had to delay my stream today because EA messed up those red picks too. I'm not sure if that affected any of you guys, but they haven't sorted it out yet, unfortunately. So hopefully that they sort that soon.
Yeah, personally, I opened my reds quite late, like after a couple of hours when that happened, and I didn't get anything good. I mean, I got an 86 Madison, but yeah.
Yeah, nothing great still.
Yeah,
nothing great.
Fodder.
I wouldn't mind getting Pope because he fits the team a little bit, but then I obviously, who doesn't want this Neymar? I also have Elite. I got Elite too, so I have one of those Team of the Week packs to open, so it increases my chances a little bit, right?
Yeah. That's great. So we don't know when EA will give those back. Probably in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Definitely.
But good luck with those, Jake, and we'll see your polls, let's say, on Twitter and on Instagram.
I hope we get something. Yep. Thanks for tuning in with us today, guys. Hopefully it gives you some insight about what we think about the current promotion, how the market will move, and Team of the Year as a whole. We appreciate you guys tuning in each week.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe.
Later, guys.
Bye-bye.